So the gut microbiome is a community of trillions of bacteria, yeast, viruses, all living inside our digestive tract. And they all play a central role in regulating our immune system balance. In fact, over 70% of our immune system actually lives in our gut. Now your immune system is constantly monitoring what's passing through your digestive tract, foods, toxins, bacteria. And moment to moment, there are decisions being made that determine what your immune system needs to attack and what it needs to tolerate. We call this mucosal tolerance. But when this system breaks down, your immune response gets confused. This confusion leads to overreactions to food, overreactions to environmental triggers like pollen and dust, and even your own body's tissues can be the source of an attack. This is where type 2 inflammation comes in, a form of immune system activation like allergies, asthma, eczema, and many Th2 types of autoimmune diseases. Now, how does the gut microbiome affect allergies and immune balance? Well, a healthy microbiome is rich in diversity, and it keeps inflammation in check. Beneficial bacteria like bifidobacteria and lactobacillus. These are bacteria that we call commensals or keystone commensal bacteria. They help regulate immune function. They help enhance the gut barrier. They produce things like short-chain fatty acids that I've talked about, things like butyrate. They help regulate T cells and they prevent overreaction of the immune system. But when these beneficial microbes decline and these opportunistic pathogenic species rise, you get this dysbiosis, and this imbalance leads to the production of these pro-inflammatory compounds that are capable of damaging the intestinal lining and eventually causing a leaky gut. So if you've never heard of a leaky gut, let's talk about that for a moment. Okay, so this leaky gut, also called intestinal permeability, this occurs when the tight junctions of the gut lining begin to break down. Think of the gut lining as a cheesecloth. It's meant to let nutrients through while keeping toxins, undigested food, undigested proteins, and microbes out. But with a leaky gut, that barrier now becomes more like a sieve. Now things that we never meant to enter the bloodstream, like gluten proteins and bacterial fragments, toxins, they start slipping through this barrier. This triggers an immune system reaction. The immune goes into attack, creates this widespread inflammatory response throughout the body, and this contributes to the food sensitivities. It contributes to the skin issues like the eczema and psoriasis. It contributes to the seasonal or environmental allergies. It contributes to the brain fog, the joint pain, and again, even autoimmune diseases. Okay, so here's the tricky part. When it comes to food sensitivities can both cause and be the result of a leaky gut. And let me explain what I mean by that. When your gut lining is damaged, proteins from food like gluten and dairy and soy and corn and many others can now enter the bloodstream undigested. Again, once those undigested proteins enter, your immune system flags them as foreign invaders, and this begins creating antibodies against them. The next time you eat these foods, you get the symptoms like bloating and gas and headaches and rashes and hives and joint pain and fatigue and depression. This immune system causes more gut inflammation, which worsens leaky gut and then leads to more food reactions and becomes this vicious cycle that needs to be interrupted by targeting it with very specific gut healing and immune balancing strategies. Now, when your gut microbiome is out of balance, it doesn't just cause local gut symptoms, right? It's going to produce inflammatory metabolites like lipopolysaccharides, ammonia, histamine, tryptase, and many others. And again, it's these compounds that pass into circulation through this leaky gut that stimulates the systemic inflammation, which again makes you feel anxious, makes you feel inflamed, tired, brain fog, and then reactive to foods and reactive to your environment. This is one of the lesser known but major reasons why addressing gut health is just so critical if you have allergies or immune system dysregulation. So how do you know if your gut is the problem? Well, here are 6 signs that your gut may be driving your allergy or your food sensitivity issues. You have frequent bloating, gas, or irregular bowel movements, right? Maybe you've noticed an increase in food reactions over time. You have eczema, you have asthma, you have sinus congestion. Maybe you experience fatigue or brain fog after meals. Maybe you've taken antibiotics or acid blockers in the past. Maybe you've had a history of mold, Lyme, or chronic stress. If any of these apply to you and they sound similar, your gut microbiome or your intestinal barrier is in need of some desperate attention. Right, so here's the good news, right? You can start healing this system with a functional approach to gut and immune health. And what that means is that often includes identifying food triggers, either through an elimination diet or food sensitivity or food allergy testing, supporting your gut barrier with nutrients like glutamine, zinc, carnosine, omega-3s, rebalancing the microbiome with specific probiotics and prebiotic fibers, reducing inflammation using botanicals like quercetin and curcumin or Cape aloe, addressing underlying infections or overgrowths. This might be addressing candida or fungal overgrowth or small intestinal bacterial overgrowth. And most importantly, restoring balance to the gut immune microbiome axis to prevent these symptoms from returning. Now, some final thoughts when it comes to allergies and food sensitivities and leaky gut is that these are not separate issues. They are connected through the gut microbiome and the immune system. So when your gut is compromised, your immune system can't function properly. And this can lead to, just like I said earlier, a cascade of inflammatory reactions and chronic symptoms. It's a reason why people often don't get better. So if you're dealing with these ongoing allergies or food intolerances or other unexplained symptoms, your gut is probably the missing link. Well, I hope you found this video helpful. And if you did, I hope you'll subscribe for more insights on gut health and functional medicine. And if you like this video, I've got a few other videos that I think you're going to like. You can find them right here.